Hello, it is August 24th and it is 4:31 p.m. So right now I have to make a journal about the religion thing that Kasha Ferozvi is basically claiming right now about me. Now, there are certain things that I have to talk about Kasha Ferozvi and Miss Hopkins, both of them. But before we get into those things that I have to talk about, first I need to ask two simple questions for Kasha Ferozvi to answer. Since he made the religion point about me, he needs to answer two basic questions about me. Then I'm going to show some of the things that Kasha Ferozvi and Miss Hopkins have been sending me through law enforcement, proving what their real motives are. Kasha Ferozvi, his lust for sex, basically, and Miss Hopkins' is greed for money, basically. And then we're going to talk about how this religion thing does not apply to me. It would apply more to someone like Kasha Ferozvi and Miss Hopkins for using national security to make fabricated false testimonies against me than someone like me who has done absolutely no crimes, never committed any, never conspired to commit any my entire life. So first of all, the thing that we have to talk about first of all is the fact that that there are two basic questions that I need to ask Kasha Ferozvi. The very first question that I need to ask Kasha Ferozvi is, did you, with Miss Hopkins, conspire? So first thing that the courts have to understand is the fact that Kasha Ferozvi was texted by Ms. Hopkins as soon as she saw that my brain savant was about to get freed. Ms. Hopkins got really angry about the fact that my brain savant was about to get freed. So yeah, no one cares about what someone's religion is, and one of the things that Miss Hopkins claimed was that I cared that her religion was Judaism, which is not true. If you look back at the tape of my mother talking about it with me, you would know that my mother has never raised me like this to hate any religion at all. And the facts and evidences will clearly prove that my mother, when I asked her at the mall, like if my wife is going to be Jewish, she said that I would love for her to be Jewish and that she would not mind it at all. She gave me such a great answer with so much love and saying that she would love for her to be Jewish that I kind of felt like I would have asked that question at home. The other thing is, there was a brain scanner attached to my brain the entire time that for years and years, where I would meet people of different faiths, including Christianity or Judaism. I would even meet people that were Orthodox Jewish people with long beards, and I would have the utmost level of love and respect for them inside my heart, like how I had it outside. And they saw it with themselves that I loved them very much. The brain scanner evidence will clearly prove that when I would meet people of Jewish faith, whether they would be Orthodox Jewish people with long beards, um what ended up happening was they're not letting me talk. I would have the utmost level of love and respect for them, even more than normal people, knowing that these people are Orthodox Jewish people who do not run after women like normal people do, like how Kashi Ferozvi is right now trying to aggressively run after different women that are coming after me. Basically, they don't run after money like how these different girls and women like Kelly are doing. Kelly the gold digger, as like I like to call her, because she acts like a gold digger every single time the courts come to a realization. Like on August 20th at 2:25 p.m., Kelly starts touching my tongue and my rectum, and she did that on August 20th at 2:25 p.m. only because courts came to a realization through artificial intelligence experts that I definitely have the most rare and profitable brain savant in the world. Profitable due to the fact that it's instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing, and rare due to the fact that they don't know of any brain savant out there, no prodigious brain savant out there right now has their powers increasing over time. So brain savants, basically, as we tested it on June 5th, 2025, for about 5 seconds, starts off like a jet engine, just goes like zing, even though they were testing it out in the parking lot while I was trying to park my car so I wouldn't have any time to actually use it. They only tested it for 5 seconds. You can ask them yourselves, for law enforcement. So basically, yes, it's already 1,000 times more powerful as it is, and mine is extremely rare due to the fact that it increases over time. So yes, that is what it is, and that is pretty much what has happened. Now, the thing about it is just the fact that it's just the fact that basically what ended up happening was I would meet people of different faiths and religions like Judaism, and I would love them even more than normal people, mainly due to the fact that I would realize that other people racist or rude towards them, and so I would be even nicer to them. And the facts and evidences will clearly prove from a time when I didn't even know that there was a brain scanner present, the fact that I would meet the person who told me about zinc very nicely and kindly, much more so than I would meet or even love or respect inside my heart normal people. Yes. And so that is the other point that I had to make, that the brain scanner evidence will clearly prove that there's no such thing as me being hating anyone of any religion or any kind like that. The brain scanner evidence for being used on my brain for years will easily prove this. Yes, and then you also have the fact that my mother never raised me to be like this. Ever since I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity as a child, I've never even remotely been in any settings where anything you remotely consider bad could have ever been said around me. And she's never once uttered one thing considered racist, bad, or anything of that sort ever in her entire life. The third reason is the fact that people that love me and truly do love me and fight for me, a lot of them are actually Jewish. And we know this for a fact because at one time, Israel was having their own problems, and it basically said, your mother is crying to us, but we've got our own problems to deal with. And I just kind of thought that the only reason they said your mother is because there are people that have known me since I was an 11-year-old child, and they literally fight for me and cry for me when they feel or see that I'm in trouble or going through hardships, and they are Jewish. And so yes, I have nothing against anyone of any religion in any way, shape, or form. These are all made up things that Miss Hopkins made up about me in order to just make me look bad, pretty much, even though there's nothing bad that I did to her or said to her. I was instead really, really nice to her. The only reason I pushed her aside, even though I was really respectful and really kind towards her, is due to the fact on December 11th, they had me tortured really brutally, using severe mental torture drugs. And the question they were asking was, who told you about Miss Hopkins? Who from law enforcement told you about Miss Hopkins? Yes. That's no reason to torture someone to the point that they jump off the cliff. Obviously, it was Kelly that was telling me from law enforcement, and Kelly had her own motives to be telling me. She would make my nostrils itch to basically tell me. She also told me other things about Miss Hopkins. Kelly's, yes. So basically, yeah. So there's no problem with racism over here or anything of that sort of nature. There just doesn't make any sense for a guy whose brain savant is not freed yet to be running after anyone. It makes no sense. It's like you got to take things one step at a time. Your brain savant gets freed, you test it out for 30 minutes, then you use it for 2 weeks, then you come up with your first work in 1 month. Yes, if you ask artificial intelligence, it will tell you that that is definitely going to be definitely possible for me. Now, the thing about artificial intelligence, both sides have agreed that it's not going to be considered on this trial at all. It's not a form that's applicable in a trial at all. When it comes to something that could be seen through a human eye, we will not trust the word of artificial intelligence. They said it first. They said we don't agree with artificial intelligence. They said it first. They said it's 0% accurate. They said it first. They said it first, and then I said it. Okay, they can't take their word back. But both sides have agreed to the fact that if something is able to be seen through a human naked eye, we're not going to count artificial intelligence and its word for anything. We're 0% accuracy and 0%. Yeah, It's totally something that could easily be seen by a naked human eye in 30 minutes. We're not going to count artificial intelligence in this trial. They said it first, then I said it. So both parties agree that artificial intelligence is not being counted in this trial at all, not one bit. Okay, but since they're reluctant in being able to see it out with their own naked human eye, even though everyone in the world has seen it from Moscow, Russia on the night of November 14th, 2025, since they're not doing that, we have to quote artificial intelligence over here, because we're not going to be like, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, like first graders, okay? So we have to quote artificial intelligence over here. And so the artificial intelligence, yes. So basically, that has to be the basis for right now. There's no other option. Okay, we're not going to fight like first graders, be like, no, I'm right about something that we could just see with our own naked human eye. But since that's being reluctant about we have to look at artificial intelligence over here. Okay, so yes. Basically, yeah. So now the other thing that we have, so after the fact that I had to make point clear that it was the fact that it has nothing to do with anyone's religion. It's just that you take things one step at a time. So artificial intelligence will tell you that if I can get a textbook like Arnball's Medicinal Chemistry done in less than a day's time, using my brain savant powers of instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing. Now, innovation's also been tested a few weeks before April 22nd, 2025, which means that's also a superhuman power of mine. Then that means that every 30 days I can get done with one patent, something that a normal human being would basically rely on once in a lifetime and run on the savings of such. I could get done once every 30 days. So yes, that is definitely, and the way, so artificial intelligence will tell law enforcement this fact. Now that it's been overanalyzed over and over again after July 18, 2025, due to them trying to find flaws in it, they know for a fact, I'm telling the truth on that. The fact that I'll get one patent done every 30 days using instantaneous photographic memory, giving me the ability to get an entire textbook like Arnball's Medicinal Chemistry, which is extremely dry, in less than 1 day's time, cover to cover, know the entire thing. And the artificial intelligence has told them that. Now, it's not something that we're counting in this trial at all, one bit, not at all. Both sides agree that it's not something we're counting in this trial, but since that's the only thing we have till we could see it with our own naked human eye, we have to rely on that, since they're reluctant on looking at it for a 30-minute brain savant test. But a 30-minute brain savant test will prove through a naked human eye, not artificial intelligence telling us anything, but through a naked human eye, that I am telling the truth, which is why law enforcement is so reluctant to do a 30-minute test, mainly due to the fact that they're scared that they know they're wrong. Okay, they know they're wrong. Some things about this artificial intelligence report, like the fact that I said this, the fact that I said that I could get one patent done every 30 days due to me being able to do an entire textbook of something like Arnball's Medicinal Chemistry in less than a day's time, and the fact that I have innovation as well, and I have focusing as well. So focusing basically means that unlike the other brain savants like Daniel Tammet, I don't have to put my hand on my head like this if I'm trying to think or concentrate. That was proven for 6 hours on August 9th, 2022, where I did not need 1 second's break at all. My brain just keeps going due to focusing also being a superhuman power of mine. Now, except for that, there are certain parts of the artificial intelligence report where it also said that my brain savant is extremely rare due to the fact that it increases in power over time. Something that is not there right now with any of the other less than 100 prodigious savants out there. And obviously I would have to be psychic in order to predict something like this, to know that this is what the artificial intelligence report said, without anyone even hinting at it to me. Clearly proven from facts and evidences that I have to be telling the truth, unless if I was psychic or someone actually told me that the artificial intelligence report said that my brain savant is extremely rare due to the fact that it increases in power over time. Now, it's clear, both sides have agreed, we're not counting on artificial intelligence at all, not one bit, but artificial intelligence has to be coded mainly due to the fact that I'm not psychic enough to know the report without anyone even hinting at it to me, and due to the fact that law enforcement's reluctant to do a 30-minute brain savant test, due to which artificial intelligence has to be coded in this trial. So due to the fact that it's common sense that dictates that if I'm able to tell everyone in this trial that my brain savant powers increases over time, making it extremely rare, and that artificial intelligence report is going to have this written in it, and that is what is written in it, then that means that I'm either psychic, someone hinted at it to me, or that either I'm psychic or that I'm telling the truth, obviously, and I am telling the truth, mainly due to the fact that the people that were hinting at it to me, they were being closely watched, and they were pretty much on the other side anyways. So yeah, it's just not possible. So I have to be telling the truth, unless if I was psychic. So basically, yes. Now the thing about it is just the fact that yeah. So I mean, yeah, think about it. Like, you just go ask Kelly from law enforcement, did you ever hint at it to him, even slightly? Did you ever hint at it to him? And she'll tell you, no, never, not a thing. So yes, so then that part is all done. Okay, and so now we have so that part's done. Now the first thing I have to do is basically ask the first two questions that Kashi Ferozvi has to answer. The first question is, did you, Kashi Ferozvi, with Miss Hopkins, plan out to frame me through a fabrication for trying to frame me in some way or another, in order to make it look like I was a bad person who attempted to commit any kind of a crime out there? Did you, Kashi Ferozvi, plan this out with Miss Hopkins? Yes or no? It's a very simple yes or no question. You have to answer this. You can plead the fifth and say that I no comment, but that's just going to make you look guilty. Did you or did you not plan this plan out with Miss Hopkins? Now, the thing that happened with Kashi Ferozvi and Miss Hopkins is they didn't have a source. So if I've got a neighbor and I'm like, I call the police, I'm like, hey, please come over, and I'm like, that neighbor is a criminal, what's the first question police is going to say? Is they'll just be like, how do you know? How do I know? Well, I don't know. I don't have any sources. So, yeah. So then the problem then becomes that they need a source, which is going to be Junaid, and they need someone like Kelly to go sleep with him and whisper into his ears what he has to claim that my sister would have told him about me being a criminal in any way, shape, or form possible. So basically, yes, until they have this, unless they have this, they cannot claim this in the first place. So, but the fact that he got rejected by Miss Deb again today clearly proves that no one slept with him. And so I see the humiliated faces already from Miss Deb saying to Junaid, I'm your mother's age. You should have some shame running after me. You know, it just reminds me of that SpongeBob episode with Mr. Krabs going into people's houses and doing you know what. And yeah, that's what happens. Well, anyways, what ended up happening was, so yes, so it's a very simple question I want to ask Kashi Ferozvi is, did you plan out with Miss Hopkins a plan to frame me by claiming that I was going to or did commit any kind of crime whatsoever? Did you plan this out with Miss Hopkins right before you started to testify against me? Did you or did you not? It's a very simple question, and obviously they did. If the news traveled around so much that it's come to my ears, then obviously they did. Okay, and he can say no, I didn't, or he could say yes, I did, or he could say I plead the fifth. But this question has to be asked Kashi Ferozvi. Okay, so basically, yes. Then the main fact that has to be made is the fact that a person who commits a national security crime is basically the same as someone who uses national security for their own personal agenda, of basically locking up someone's brain savant only because their mistress, Miss Hopkins, was not able to profit off of it. Now, I could bring you evidence of it. Okay. And it's not that old. The evidence is only from like a day or two ago. So let's just look at what the date is today. It is 4:50 p.m. It is August 24th. Okay, so then let's look at this. August 23rd, 1:42 a.m. August 23rd, 1:42 a.m. This is not the actual ad, but I just had to mark the time down with it. It basically said cash kick, and what it said was it said fall into extra money this fall, and what it basically was basically saying that I'm going to be paying for these girls, like as if they're not someone else's daughters but prostitutes, is what Gasha Ferozi was saying. And the time was 1:42 a.m. on August 23rd. He was basically saying that I'm going to be paying for these girls, like as if they're not someone's daughters but prostitutes. All you have to do is go and cash them and use the artificial intelligence chatter from courts with them hearing about it, for you to go scam them into coming over to me and sleeping with me. Same artificial intelligence, by the way, that they themselves first said that they don't trust it at all, due to which now I've said that I don't trust it at all either. I couldn't care less what these girls think about me. I want my 30-minute test. So yes, I've said it really openly and very clearly as a statement that I do not trust artificial intelligence at all, and neither side are using it in this trial to make it a main source of info on my brain savant at all, since it's something that, like a brain savant that could be viewed through naked human eye in 30 minutes, should not have artificial intelligence being the source. If you could see it in 30 minutes, then you have to see it in 30 minutes, or else we're not, neither, both sides have agreed, we're not counting it as a source of info on this brain savant at all. So I'm coding it due to the fact that it's the only source there is. We're not going to argue like first graders, and obviously it has to be the only source, since some of the things that artificial intelligence has said I could not have known unless if I was psychic, like the fact that it's extremely rare due to the fact that my brain savant powers increase over time. Yes, I could not have known unless if I was either psychic or I was telling the truth. So I'm obviously telling the truth. The third option is someone hinted at it to me, but that's not possible, considering the fact that the people who could have done that were all on the other side, basically, of law enforcement, not even on my side. So yes, yeah. So basically, yeah. And then this is August 23rd at basically 8:01 p.m. And what this is misplay. And what this is Gasha Ferozi saying, help me play around with these mistresses of mine. I want to play around with these mistresses of mine. Hassan, you go catch these girls and bring them over to me, and they basically help me play with them. Basically proving that Gasha Ferozi is doing this out of his lust and envy for these girls running after me after finding out about my brain savant, and I can no longer do this anymore, because both sides have agreed that we're not counting artificial intelligence as being a source of info in this trial about my brain savant at all. They said it first, and then I said it, that I actually have 0% trust on this artificial intelligence as being a source for my brain savant. So yes, so no can do, because they're gonna hear that chatter as well, obviously. So, but yeah, we have to use it as a source due to the fact that there's no other source. So something that so I guess in a way both sides have agreed to the fact that something that could be observed with a naked human eye for 30 minutes should not have artificial intelligence being the source. So we should administer the 30-minute test, is pretty much what both sides are saying, since both sides do not agree with artificial intelligence, and both sides are saying that it's inaccurate. So yes, so yeah. So you got to remember, today, right now, it is August 24th, 4:54 p.m., but the picture that I'm about to show you is from an hour and a half after midnight today. So right now it's around evening time. This picture is from hour and a half after midnight today. So this is August 24th. Okay, an hour and 26 minutes past midnight. Okay, and it says right over there, it says a deal with the cat, Dark Knight Rises. Basically, Miss Hopkins is now offering a deal, and I'll tell you exactly what I think this deal is. And then August 24th, same thing. Today, 11:20 a.m. Gasha Ferozi, cash key, trade, Kalshi, trade on anything. Okay, basically what he's trying to say is, help me trade these girls for my Mistress Hassan. Help me trade these girls for my Mistress Hassan. And the time over here is August 24th. That's today, 11:20 a.m. Okay. And then you also have August 24th today, 1:20 p.m. That's 1:20 p.m. And that is Amica. Micah is Miss Hopkins' first name, and so it's go together. Micah go together. Okay, and then you also have same thing today, 3:16 p.m. today, August 24th, 3:16 p.m. And what you have is Trade Sports. Okay, Trade Sports Nationwide, Novig, Trade Sports Nationwide, that's what it says. Trade Sports, as in what it's trying to say is he thinks of these girls as being sports and he wants me to help him trade this. So basically, Kasha Ferozvi pretty much thinks of this as being some sort of a game for his mistresses, as you just saw with the ads, and he wants me to, he's doing this due to his lust and envy for these girls running after me due to my brain savant, and he wants me to help him pretty much trade out his mistresses. And then Miss Hopkins, obviously, right now, from just last night, an hour and a half after midnight, she wants me to pretty much make a deal with her. But obviously, we know what the deal is going to be since she's been caught trying to frame me. The deal's going to be somewhere around the lines of you marry me, and instead I'll tell my boyfriend Kasha Ferozvi to back off. That's pretty much what she's going to say. So I'll continue this video in just 1 second.